how well you can run and manage your calendar is going to either mean that you can be productive and you can do more things and not be overwhelmed day to day, or you're going to wake up and you're going to have everything up in here and going, what do I just do next? What do I do next? So if you're consistently waking up in the morning and you're trying to think about what to do next in today's day, like what I should do now, what should I be working on, then you're not managing your calendar well. And the only way you can manage your calendar well is first, like I said, always know what is your outcome? What's your goal? Okay, what is it that you want? And then from there, go, okay, how do I chunk that down into pieces? And I go, right, how do I first set my calendar up? Well, first and foremost, although you have 24 hours, you don't have 24 hours of usage, right? Because you're going to sleep, you're going to eat, you're going to shower, you're going to be with your kids, you're going to maybe have a social life. I'm not sure what that is like. But what I mean to say is when you get your calendar up, what I first want you to do is plug in all the personal things. So I plug in all my personal things and I go really, really pedantic and minute on this, all right? So in my calendar, you'll see exactly when it is I sleep and when it is I wake up. You'll see when I wake up, when I go to the bathroom and have a shower. You'll see when I make breakfast for my kids and when I make breakfast for myself. And then you'll see my travel times. So if I have an appointment or I have a client that I have to visit at 1 p.m., well, I'm not free between 12:30 and 1 because I'm probably traveling at that time, right? And let's say I finish on a client call at 1:30 or I finish on a group call like this at 12:30. Well, I'm not free at 12:30 because imagine if I ran late. So I have something called transition or catch-up times, which is maybe 15-minute time blocks. So I start putting in everything of my personal life, and I also start plugging in everything when it comes to my business life, which is the key things of business, which is when are you on shift and seeing people, right? So if you're every Tuesday seeing people from 9 to 12, well, then that should be blocked out as a business shift time in your calendar. So anything and everything that is a recurring task, whether it's a recurring daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly, right? You have to plug that into your calendar. When you can do that, you will really be able to see what is your blank space like. And believe it or not, I have done this and I've worked with a lot of people and they're like, holy shit, what the hell have I been doing? Because I have a lot of free time. I have a lot of free time. We are overwhelmed because we keep everything here. Our brains is as beautiful as they are. They're not massive things, right? They're tiny little organs here and we can't fit too much in there. Otherwise, we can't be clear on what we're doing. I want you to plug in your personal times. I want you to plug in your business times. And then I want you to find all the free spaces. Once you've found all the free spaces, you might realize, man, I actually have 6 hours allocated within 3 days. That's a lot of time. So over a week's time, you can actually see and visualize what you have going on. And then you can go, okay, well, if I can give myself 3 tasks or projects to work on for this week, how can I slot them into this time? Another thing to be aware of, though, is know your attention span. If you don't have attention span over 2 hours, don't block out a 3-hour project because you're not going to have the attention span for it. So for me, I block out 1 hour and then I always have 15 minutes transition for if I want to eat or if I want to do some star jumps or doing something to move my body. And then I come back and I know, okay, now another hour of my project time. So make sure that you use those transition periods really well and understand how it is you really work. When you can start doing that, what you're essentially doing, and this is what I do, every morning I wake up, I don't tell myself what to do. My calendar tells me what to do. All right? That's how you want to go about it. So that you take all of the things that you have in your brain and put it in a management system. And here's where I say, self-discipline counts. So if you know that you've put a recurring task of stats, let's say running your numbers on a Monday, figure it out whether a Monday afternoon is just not a good time. And maybe it's just the first thing in the morning that you want to get that over and done with. And maybe the morning headspace is different to afternoon headspaces. That's for sure for me. But then just being self-disciplined that, if it has to happen, it has to happen. I worked mornings and evenings. For some reason, I just don't want to work in the afternoons. The afternoon time for me is creativity time. I just love sitting at my desk, creating stuff. And so I knew that's when I worked on creation the best, which is why I made my shifts morning and I made my shifts evening. Another thing I did is I block booked, meaning that I wouldn't have spaces in my calendar where I saw one person at 9 and one person at 10. I would see them back to back because I knew that that is what's going to build my momentum and my energy. And so as long as I had these rules in place and I kept to it through discipline, I ensured that every system that I created worked for that, rather than I working for them or for the system or for the business, right? You didn't create a business to work for it. Let's be honest. I hope not. You created a business so that the business works for you. And very quickly in business, that the tables turn and we don't even realize it.